We are here today in Disneyland in Galaxy's Edge on this wonderfully busy Saturday afternoon to talk about Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. But not just about the attraction. More importantly, we're talking about boarding passes. What they are, why we need them, and how to get them. So let's head on in to Black Spire Outpost and have a chat. So typically when a Disney park opens a new attraction, guests used to have to wait in line outside the park gates overnight. They would wait hours and hours and hours, and then the park would open, and then they would have to go get in line for the attraction and wait probably 10 plus hours to be able to get a chance to ride the ride. And if the attraction broke down at all, you were out of luck. Now, we don't wait in physical lines. We have Fast Pass, we have Max Pass, now we have boarding groups. What that means is it's like a virtual line that's been broken up into chunks, and those chunks are assigned a number. Now, if you're familiar with the Fast Pass situation, it's essentially your return time, except it's not relative to a time, it's actually relative to other positions of other guests in line. So you're given a boarding group number, and when your boarding group is called, you go to the attraction, you check in with a group of cast members, let them know your boarding group's been called, then you check in with another group of cast members, and they actually scan your boarding pass. Then you're able to wait in the physical attraction, which doesn't take very long. The plan, I believe, is for them to use the boarding groups while it's still new. And once the demand starts to die down a little bit, it'll start going back to Fast Pass and have standby line. So, now that we know what they are and why we need them, we need to know how to get them. I want to make sure to get here about an hour before the park opens. That way you have enough time to get through the line that inevitably forms at the main gate, and you're in the park by 8. Now, that's important. You need to be in the park the moment the park opens. Now, they open the park a little bit ahead of time so that you can get in here and get prepared. But you have to be here. You have to have had your pass scanned. Now, everybody in your party also has to have their pass scanned. If you're not going to ride the attraction, you don't have to get your pass scanned. But if you want to ride, if you want a boarding pass, you got to be here. There's no sending somebody to get your boarding pass for you. It just doesn't go that way. Now, when it comes to that, you do, however, have to designate someone to get your boarding passes. They have to be linked to one account. Otherwise, you likely won't be in the same boarding group and won't ride at the same time. This is very, very important because you want to do this before you get into the park. You want to link the pass to the designated person. If you don't link the pass, you won't be able to get their boarding pass. Now, on that same token, if somebody is in your party and they aren't going to ride the attraction, when you go to get your boarding pass, you will have to uncheck them before you can actually join your boarding group. Now, this can lead to a slight delay because you have to check a button and it's an additional step. As long as you are on it and you are refreshing ahead of time, you're good. I've done some videos about actually getting it. You've seen it live. So now we'll go over the process. So when you get into the park, you don't really need to go anywhere. You'll probably just want to stay on Main Street. Now we're headed into the Black Spire Outpost Marketplace to exemplify why. There are a lot of people, and there's just no reason to come here because you're not going to be in a physical queue. You're going to be in a virtual queue. You can do that anywhere. My main suggestion, stay on Main Street. It clears out pretty quick right before the park opens. Everyone gets funneled through into Frontierland and then starts walking to Galaxy's Edge, and it's just not necessary. Hunker down in a spot, get yourself ready. Okay, so now we've got a spot. I tend to like an area next to a trash can because people don't get necessarily way too close up on you. Because everybody who does stay in Main Street hunkers down somewhere. So, first things first, you're going to want to open your Disneyland app. Now, if you're opening it in the park, it might take a second because it's got to connect to some internet. Now, my first suggestion is to turn off Wi-Fi and do this over your cellular data. Doing it on Wi-Fi is going to take longer, and that's how you don't get a boarding pass. So when it opens, you'll notice the first thing here is Star Wars Rise of the Resistance access by boarding group. You want to click Find Out More. So that'll show the current status. Right here, it shows that the land is open and that it's currently boarding groups 60 to 81. When you log in and the park isn't open, you won't see any of this. The current land status will be dashes, and join boarding group will, of course, be grayed out as it is now. But what you want to do is you want to click My Status. It will say this, that you can't join any new boarding groups at the moment. What you want to do is at 7:59 or 8:59, depending on when the park opens, you want to start refreshing. Just start refreshing like crazy. Because what will happen is that Join Boarding Group button will light up, and then you want to press that as soon as possible. The next screen will show how many people are in your party. Now, you can only get boarding groups for the people in your party that have come into the park, but it will show everybody in your party. So if you have people in the party waiting at the hotel, it'll still show them, but you won't be able to get the boarding groups. You need to uncheck them, because if you don't uncheck them, what you'll get on the next screen is an error saying that some of the people in your party have not yet come into the park. That will cost you precious time, and you likely won't get a boarding pass. Be prepared to know exactly who you're getting a boarding pass for, and make sure only they are checked in the app. If you don't get on it exactly at park opening, you won't get one. Boarding groups go out within 1 minute, so don't think that you can wait at all. So you got your boarding group. Everybody's cheering. It's such a great time. Oh my God. Well, it's not over yet. Don't start cheering and getting all excited with everyone. What you need to do right before getting your boarding pass is determine what fast passes you want to get. Because there are going to be people here who aren't getting boarding passes. And what they're waiting for is the fast passes to open up. So get prepared for that, because the same person who is designated to get your boarding pass will be the same person to get your fast passes. So the immediate next thing you do, once you get the message saying that your boarding pass is confirmed and it shows a little astromech droid getting everything ready, pull up the fast pass screen and get your fast pass, because they will go quick. And if you're not coming on a weekday, they go incredibly quick. After that, you're pretty much free to do what you will for several hours. I recommend coming in, getting your fast pass, and going and hitting up either Matterhorn or Pirates of the Caribbean, because those lines tend to get a little bit longer, and in the morning they are shorter. So why not hit up the standby, get your fast pass in something that's a little bit more intense, and just have a good time. While you're waiting, you can find these nifty little signs that actually update with the current boarding group status and which boarding group is currently boarding. If you don't want to use your battery, your precious battery, and you don't have a fuel rod, these things are fantastic. When your boarding pass is getting close, you will know. At some point, your boarding group will finally be called, at which point you will definitely want to make your way back to Batuu, because you need to head over to the Rise of the Resistance attraction. So you finally made it here. You finally gotten here. Except, don't go there. That's not where you need to go. You need to go this way. Yes, over here. Come down here, and then in this sideway. Now, you want to get the notification ready, the one that says that your boarding group's been called, because these folks right here are who check them. Then you walk down the queue, come all the way over to those cast members. Now, they will actually scan your access code. There will be a button that comes up that says get access code. You'll want to click that and make sure that the barcodes are ready to scan just like a fast pass. That's it. Then you're on Rise of the Resistance. You get to experience the most advanced amusement attraction known to man. How lucky are you? So now you've been prepared with the tools. Go do it.